It's not just a trend anymore. It's an absolute full-blown mass migration. In fact, according to the most recent data from Redfin, Florida is expected to gain over 400,000 new residents annually, and New York is leading that pack.
And you know why? Because they are fed up. It's been crazy times up there for the last 6 months with that mayoral election, so that political environment has been crazy. They're also tired of the congestion, just taking an hour to get something that should take 15 minutes, and they're really tired of that crushing, rising cost of living, and a massive number of them are relocating down here to Florida's cultural coast, and they're choosing Sarasota and the Venice region as their next home. But does it really live up to those expectations of paradise? That's what this video is all about, and we're gonna find out.
You see, we don't just live the dream here, we sell it. We're real estate experts in the Sarasota and Venice and greater region, and we've helped countless families make that exact move. But today it's not about a sales pitch. We're not here to convince you. We're here to give you the real breakdown, the good, the bad, the ugly, and those very expensive hidden truths that no other realtors are actually talking about.
All right, now let's get to that number one reason why so many people are looking to leave New York City and get down here to Florida, and that reason is money.
That's right. So the first big savings you get in Florida is that there is absolutely no state income tax. You see those higher income earners coming from Manhattan, they're not just paying 10.9% state tax, they're also paying a city income tax on top of that. In Florida, that entire tax burden goes to zero instantly.
And it gets better for retirees. Florida doesn't tax your retirement income. So those pensions, those 401k distributions, and your Social Security, it's all 100% tax-free here. In New York, on the other hand, they tax most of that.
Now, we know that Florida is not the same savings it once was when our grandparents were moving here, but it's certainly a savings in relative comparison to New York. And what we're seeing, some of the most dramatic differences. I mean, the median listing price in Manhattan currently is $1.4 million. You have neighborhoods like Tribeca where that price is around $4.3 million. Here in Sarasota County, that median price is $561,000, and in Venice, it's $399,000 respectively. Now, we do have those bespoke legacy custom homes upwards of $30 million, so certainly we can fill the void for almost any price category.
So what's that mean? It means you can literally sell your one-bedroom apartment in the city and buy a brand new 2,500 plus square foot home with a pool in one of these great gated communities that you're absolutely going to love and has tons of amenities, and you're still going to have hundreds of thousands of dollars left over.
Now, this isn't a retirement-only destination. It once was, still is a number one place for retirees, but it's become so much more than that. It's multi-generational, and what we're seeing is that adjusted gross income of that New Yorker is around $182,000. That's not a retiree. These are high-earning families in their prime.
Absolutely. And even their daily expenses are going to drop. Let's talk about basic things that we all spend money on every day, like groceries. Groceries are 11% more affordable down here in Florida. And what about those utilities? Up in New York, you're paying high utilities in the winter to keep your home warm, and down here it's the exact opposite, keeping your home cool in the summer. But those utilities are 11.5% cheaper down here in Florida. Plus, the sales tax in Sarasota is only 7%. In New York, they're paying an astronomical 8.875% every time they buy anything.
Sounds good so far? Well, it's not all sunshines and savings, and you're going to need to hear this next part before you make that move. All right, so now we're on to what I believe is the most important part of the video, those hidden costs. Now, these hidden costs, they'll absolutely shock you if you're not prepared. Let's start with that number one shock for every new Floridian. It's that homeowner's insurance. Now, you've heard it, the doom and gloom, homeowner's insurance, the homes are uninsurable, they're all underwater. Well, that's not exactly the case. And just recently, we've seen a huge relief in that insurance industry with those storms passing by, with those premiums coming down, and with 15 more insurance providers coming to the area. It's taking that burden off of Citizens Insurance. And now you're seeing insurance around that $3,600 a year for a $300,000 home. Certainly Still twice as high as the national average, but certainly in comparison to New York and the fact that you get to live in paradise, I think that's a wash.
I'll tell you what, the Venice and Sarasota area, we've been pretty lucky historically when it comes to those hurricanes, and we've been safe from a direct hit. But Hurricane Ian in 2022, it was a terrifying wake-up call for so many people, and it's the reason you might pay a bit more for insurance so that you know that you're protected. You might pay an additional $300 a month for your homeowner's insurance just for that extra coverage.
Now, if you're looking at all this beautiful new construction communities like Wellen Park or Lakewood Ranch, you have two acronyms that you absolutely have to get familiar with. That's HOA and CDDs.
All right, so what is an HOA? An HOA is your homeowners association, and it's a monthly fee that you pay. What does it pay for? It pays for all of those great amenities that you have in your neighborhood, the maintenance of those things, things like that resort-style pool, the fitness center, the pickleball. Maybe you have some great trails, or maybe it's that you live in a maintenance-free neighborhood and they take care of all of your outdoor maintenance, like those trimming the bushes, mulching your gardens, mowing and trimming your yard. They take care of all of that. So HOAs are something you're going to have to factor in, and depending on the neighborhood, they can fluctuate vastly.
Now, the fact that this area is a pioneering area, you have new neighborhoods coming online all the time. There's a need to build all new infrastructure. In this case, very intentional and thoughtful infrastructure. And with that comes that CDD. It's that community development district. It's a taxation that's rolled into your taxes that simply does just that. It pays for all the infrastructure, the roads, the sewers, and the amenity centers themselves.
Yeah, so let's give you a good example of, what those CDDs and HOAs fees would be. So if you lived in a community in Wellen Park, you might pay about $300 a month for your HOA, plus you have that annual CDD of about $2,500. So that's $6,100 a year, or $508 a month just for your community fees. So this is a hidden cost that eats into that tax savings that we talked about earlier.
Now, finally, let's say goodbye to those Metro cards, $132 monthly expense, because you're no longer going to be hopping on the Metro. You're going to be 100% dependent on a car here. You'll be driving everywhere, and Florida is the third most expensive for car ownership. Average car insurance is around $2,500 for two cars, talking about $5,000 a year, and you haven't even paid for gas or the car itself. Now, that's a massive new line item for New Yorkers that they just don't have that. But I see a little offset. You're not paying for parking, and certainly not paying for parking tickets.
And you're not paying to go to the beach. That's one of the huge things. So it's not all rainbows and sunshines. There are some negative things, and those HOAs and CDDs are one thing you have to factor in. So you're moving from the city that never sleeps to a sleepy beach town, and I'm telling you, that comes with a whole bunch of lifestyle changes.
That's right. So let's first talk about the biggest and most glaring change, that weather. Yes, our winters are absolute paradise. When you're in New York digging out from a blizzard, we're in a boat somewhere in 75-degree weather, shoveling sunshine. But our summers can also get pretty brutal. It's not just that heat, it's that oppressive humidity. You've seen me in the videos sweating before. It's not because I choose to, it's because humidity chose for me. But we're going to have that humid season between May and October. But you are trading in that heating bill for a massive AC bill that's probably going to run 24/7.
Now let's talk about all of those amenities. Yes, you're going to be giving up Broadway and the Met and thousands of world-class restaurants, but Sarasota isn't a sleepy beach town completely. There are plenty of things to do, and we are called the Cultural Coast for a reason. You're not getting the Met, but you're getting the Ringling Museum, a 66-acre beautiful estate by John Ringling that is the home of the State Art Museum of Florida. They have an incredible circus museum, and John Ringling's home, the Venetian-style Gothic Cezanne Mansion. It's quite a special place to go, and I certainly recommend you see it.
That's definitely an Instagram pick place for sure.
No doubt.
And maybe you're trading in that Fifth Avenue for St. Armand Circle. St. Armand Circle is a beautiful European-inspired open circle with statues, street performers, 140 upscale restaurants and shops. Or maybe you're trading in those West Villages for the charming historic Venice with all the beautiful streets lined with palm trees and the historic 1920s Mediterranean homes, and those incredible shops and boutiques and incredible restaurants.
And the natural amenities are just on a different level. We have eternal summer down here, so it is lush and green all year round, and we have incredible beaches to support that. And Siesta Beach, that's one of our most famous beaches in Sarasota County, and that was just recently named in 2025 one of the 50 best beaches in all of the world, and the only beach in the United States to even make that list. And why is that? That's because of its incredible white quartz sands that are 99% quartz, and it just stays cool and nice all day long, even in the hottest days.
And of course, it's surrounded by that great downtown hub, all those great restaurants. It's not just a standalone beach. You're truly subscribing for a place immense and full with culture. And let's talk about those green spaces, because we have this warm climate. You have tons of indoor-outdoor living, and certainly green spaces are not short here. You have that world-famous Legacy Trail. It's currently a 30-mile trail that stems from Sarasota all the way to the historic Venice train depot, and it's expanding even further into that Northport corridor. And then we have Mayaka River State Park, where people travel from all over the country just to visit. It's a nice taste and sense of old Florida. You can take an airboat tour, go find some alligators. Like, don't wrestle those alligators, just watch them from a distance. Climb a treetop canopy, walk it, look at it. You'll feel like you're somewhere lost, somewhere similar to Central Park, but so much better.
I'll tell you what, just the whole lifestyle down here is a totally different thing, and it's something that you're really going to have to adapt to.
Now let's talk about that surprising win. The last part is for the families and working professionals who think they may be giving up that great job field or giving up a great education for their kids if they move here. This has without a doubt been the most surprising win.
First of all, let's talk about those jobs. So many people who've relocated down here, especially since COVID, they were remote workers. So they've been able to easily transition down here. But our local market is anchored by massive, stable employers. The number one employer in all of Sarasota County is Sarasota Memorial Hospital, that has a huge campus up in Sarasota. They also have one down in Venice. They're building a new one in Northport. So they are the largest employer in the county with over 10,000 employees. And if you're somebody who's in that healthcare career, healthcare is booming down here for obvious reasons, and there's tons of jobs just for you.
That's right. Now let's move on down to North Venice, where you have the headquarters of PGT Innovations. They're the leading hurricane impact window employer with over 5,500 people. These are stable, large-scale employers. Not to mention you have Mattamy Homes, one of the largest builders in all the country. They're moving their headquarters down here to downtown Wellen Park.
All right, but what about those schools? I'll tell you, that's absolutely our secret weapon. The entire Sarasota County School District is A-rated. It's only one of 2 districts in all of Florida that's got that every single year since 2004. It's consistently ranked in the top 5 districts in the state, and you're not dealing with that stressful lottery like you might have in New York, and high-quality public education is absolutely standard here.
Now, if you're buying in Wellen Park, you have that brand new state-of-the-art Wellen Park High School. It's under construction right now, slated to be open August 2026. We were there. Absolute spectacle, beautiful field. Friday night lights are going to be incredible. And then we're expecting that K-8 school to be completed 2029, 2030.
And there's tons of new schools opening up in Sarasota County, whether it's up in Lakewood Ranch or down here in Venice. Brand new schools are coming online because they're addressing all of the families that are moving down here and that influx of children. But we have something really special here in Sarasota County, and that's known as, it is the absolute #1 school in all of the country, and that's that Pine View School for the Gifted.
Certainly that one breaks the bank, right? Mm-hmm. No, it's actually free. It's a public school that's ranked #1 best public school in all of Florida, and it's number 12 in the entire nation. Now, New Yorkers, they're used to paying upwards of $60,000 a year for private schools like Trinity or Horace Mann just to get the level of education. Here, it's free, provided your child meets those requirements, which is typically an IQ score of 130 or higher.
Absolutely. And if you prefer going private, the Out of the Door Academy up in Lakewood Ranch or the Cardinal Mooney, they are A+ rated, top tier college prep schools that are good for all of that. I would compare them to all of those New York City counterparts. And if your child's an elite athlete, IMG Academy is the mecca of high school athletics. Pretty much every single kid that goes to that school, if you're a starter, you're going D1, no doubt about it.
So let's talk about the access to and from. Maybe you're still going to be a snowbird. Maybe you're moving your family first and still commuting back and forth because work just didn't give you that remote option. So let's talk about how do you get back to New York City. This is the best part. You have Sarasota SRQ Airport, and it's an absolute dream compared to other airports.
One terminal.
That's right, just one terminal. It's 20 minutes to an hour away, depending on what your starting point is. And you get through security quite literally in 10 minutes. And it has multiple nonstop flights to JFK and Newark every single day.
And you have two other great options. To our north, we have Tampa International. That's about an hour to our north, depending on where you start. But they have direct flights to all three New York City borough or New York City airports. And you have another airport to the south. That's Punta Gorda, about maybe 45 minutes. But that's the Allegiant hub, and they have budget-friendly options that fly into Newburgh and all the other New York cities. You're completely connected, and getting in and out, not a problem.
The other trade-off for connectivity is that I-75 corridor. It's our main artery going up and down the west coast of Florida. And if you've been here lately, you can see from all the 2025 construction to widen in an effort to ease that traffic during snowbird season, which is January to April. It can truly be a headache, especially when we have all those different habits of drivers coming here collectively to one congestion. So we're certainly seeing an alleviation of that. But you're going to be trading in those subway delays for a different kind of congestion.
Absolutely. So, is the move from the Big Apple worth it? It's a trade-off. You're trading brutal winters for humid summers. You're trading the world's most dynamic city for a slower, sunnier, more affordable lifestyle. And you're trading insane taxes for high insurance and HOA fees.
You see, it's not a fantasy, but tens of thousands of New Yorkers who've already done it, they're telling you this is a massive upgrade.
And if you're one of the thousands of people thinking about making that move down to Florida, you need a local expert to guide you. Someone who knows all the builders, someone who knows all the hidden costs, and someone who knows the real pros and cons of every single community.
You see, this is what we do. We eat, breathe, and sleep this business. We moved our families down here to live that lifestyle, to fully flourish in that never-ending summer. We've been helping families do the same since, from $20,000 lots to $20 million builds. We've covered it all. Now, moving here, there are trade-offs, like Caleb mentioned. You're trading in that snow shovel for sunshine. You're giving up some sort of amenities, but you're getting the cultural coast. You're getting the beaches, the warm weather, top schools, HOA communities, resort-style amenities, restaurants, golf carting communities. I mean, the list goes on and on. When it truly comes down to it, lifestyle value is subjective. We think if you're going to live this life, you might as well live it to the fullest. So if something in this video resonates, if you're thinking about making that move, we have endless resources. We come out with weekly videos discussing all the latest real estate developments in the Sarasota, Venice, and greater region, and we can't wait to hear from you.
The only question I have is, when are you calling us? When are you coming down? It's time to get down here and enjoy this beautiful lifestyle that we live. So for this week in Venice and Sarasota, Florida, I'm Caleb.
And I'm Lanir.
And we'll see you next week.